Are your tomatoes looking strange? Is the bottom of your tomato fruit ripe and red, but the top near the stalk still green and still hard and unripe? This ugly and disappointing tomato fruit problem is called tomato greenback or tomato green shoulder. So this is what tomato greenback looks like, but how can you stop tomato greenback from spoiling your harvest? First of all, can greenback be reversed in tomatoes where you've only just spotted the problem? Unfortunately, when tomato greenback has already happened, the affected tomatoes can't fully recover. You can still eat tomatoes with greenback. The red ripe underside will still taste good, but the green bit of the fruit is hard and not so tasty. The green bit may eventually turn red, but by then the rest of the tomato will be overripe and mushy. So my advice: cut the greenback affected tomatoes off the vine when you notice them. Cutting off tomatoes with greenback allows the tomato plant to put its nutrients to better use, growing healthy new tomatoes. So although it's too late for these particular greenback tomatoes, let's make sure the new still-to-grow tomatoes don't develop greenback. The good news: tomato greenback is not caused by a pest or disease. So that means it's not contagious, it won't spread like a virus. Instead, tomato greenback is a disorder caused by a mix of stress and genetics. More on genetics later. The first stress factor: heat. Just like humans in summer, tomatoes can get hot and bothered. In the UK, greenback is usually only a problem when tomatoes are grown in hot spaces like greenhouses or polytunnels. And greenback only really strikes when we actually have a hot summer. Direct sunshine on the tomato plants or ripening fruit can also stress the plants. So, if you live in a hot sunny climate, or you're having a hot summer, it's worth adding shade to your greenhouse with a shade cloth or a shade paint, like you can see me do here. You can wipe off shade paint in the autumn. In hot weather, damp down the paths of your greenhouse. Damping down means watering the ground in your greenhouse, like this. You want to damp down early in the morning, on a day when you know it's going to be hot. The water evaporates during the day. This evaporation cools the greenhouse and increases humidity. This reduces stress for your tomato plants. Higher humidity also has the added benefit of deterring spider mites. Winner. Greenhouse ventilation also keeps temperatures lower. So open those vents, doors, and windows in your greenhouse. The second stress for tomato plants: not enough nutrients. Tomato plants need plenty of potassium while their fruits are developing. Specialist tomato food like Tomorite and Big Tom are high in potassium. If you don't regularly use the right fertilizer, you risk problems like greenback and blossom end rot. So, feed your tomato plants with a fertilizer diluted just like the label says, once a week, as soon as your tomato plants start to flower. The third and final stress: uneven watering. Tomatoes need consistent watering and lots of water. As a plant scientist, I've always found it impossible to overwater a tomato plant. In summer, make sure you water your tomatoes every day. A water holding tray under the plant pot, like you can see here, can help you to give the tomato plants a thorough soak. Or if you're good at DIY, rig up an automatic drip irrigation system to cut down on manual labour. And now, onto genetics, the second cause of tomato greenback. For greenback, the tomato variety plays a big role. I've found that Gardener's Delight tomatoes, that reliable old favourite, a sort of tomato daily driver, often suffers from greenback in hot, dry summers. So, if you're struggling with one tomato variety, try growing a different variety of tomato next year. Some varieties are recommended as more resistant to greenback, like Alicante, Tigerella, and Shirley F1. Have you spotted greenback on any particular tomato variety? Let us all know in the comments. Wishing you healthy plants and happy gardening.